Been to Cthulhu for President before. Alright, so we have a bunch of nuggets. Excellent. For those of you who have been here before, the 8 o'clock show is different from the 10 o'clock show. Alright. Welcome to Cthulhu for President at SNAFU Con 2015. My name is Andre Pena. I am the long-running campaign manager for Cthulhu for President, the longest-running convention in longest-running panel in anime convention history. That's not really something to brag about because who cares? For those of you who've never been here before, we're going to go over the political platform for a little while, and then we're going to open up for Q&A from the audience because Cthulhu belongs to the people. Not really. Cthulhu belongs to the people, and it's the only way, if you ask a question, it's the only way you're guaranteed to get one of these nice... Whoa, that's a crappy one. It's one of the good ways to get one of these nice shiny buttons. There's no other guaranteed way to get it. So we'll hop right in. So, like I said, I'm the campaign manager. Cthulhu, of course, cannot actually be here. The reason being that Cthulhu, if you were actually anywhere near anybody, heads generally tend to detonate. It doesn't go very well. We went through a lot of interns figuring that out. So we have a very secure communication protocol. There's an imposter over there. Yeah, Cthulhu's much taller than that. Loser. Oh yeah, I insult the audience and I use profanity. If you don't like it, fuck off. Alright, so first thing we want to go over is who our cabinet will be. Our vice presidential nominee will be David Lopan. He's a pillar of the Chinese American community because he's been there basically from the start. He has centuries of business experience, so in your face, Donald Trump. He has strong ties to China, in your face again, Donald Trump. And he has lots of experience defeating pesky interlopers. We think he'll be an excellent vice president when we eventually win the White House and take over. It'll be great for everybody, unless you're female and you have green eyes, in which case you better fucking run. Our Secretary of State is the most interesting man in the world. He doesn't often vote, but when he does, he votes for Cthulhu, and he stays crazy. Our Secretary of Education is the little kid who fucking loves coloring. We don't really know much else about him, but we like his platform of, I fucking love coloring, so we think he's an excellent choice. Our Secretary of Transportation, since he recently was unemployed by the BBC, we think he'll do a bang-up job or he'll totally run it into the ground. It'll be entertaining either way. Our Secretary of Homeland Security is Sekata Sanshiro, because he will beat the shit out of anybody. Anybody. Nobody wants to invade. He's just going to pick you up and throw you endlessly. Endlessly. Our ambassador to the United Nations, previously it had been Joffrey Baratheon. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. And we're still hunting for the traitor Tyrion who killed him. So if you find him, let us know. There is a reward.
Tyrion rules.
Fuck you, get out.
It's the Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster is a surprisingly deep individual, and it's a key part of our make the world really concerned about us and convince them that we've gone off the deep end, that we're completely insane. Because if Cookie Monster shows up to the UN Assembly, they're going to be like, what? He's surprisingly wise. We like him a lot. So here comes one of my favorite parts. So obviously we don't know precisely yet who the Democratic and Republican Wow, I shouldn't have had that caffeine gum. Wow, everything is like in tunnel vision. We're not sure, obviously, who the nominees are going to be yet, but that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of out-of-context quotations from all of our presumable candidates. So here's Donald Trump. Here's 3 great quotes by him. The concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive. What? That's really cool that they managed to sneak in all that scientific data. That's right up there with the guys who are the devil hid all the dinosaur bones for evolution. It's right up there with that kind of conspiracy theory. My second quote is one of my favorites. We will have so much winning if I get elected that you may get bored with winning. Okay, Charlie Sheen, whatever you say. And third one is, I will build a great, great wall on our southern border and I will make Mexico pay for that wall. How the fuck are you going to do that? Are you going to send them a bill? They're going to be like, fuck you? I will make it cheap. Yeah, whatever. Hillary Clinton. I'm not going to put my lot in with economists. Yeah, because they don't know fucking anything. They don't know as nearly as much as you do. I have no interest in running for president again. Liar. I'm not going to have some reporters pawing through our papers. We are the president. This is back when she was the first lady, and I was like, God, she's fucking stupid. Ben Carson. I would not advocate we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I would absolutely not agree with that. Okay, that sounds like a benign statement, but if you replace the word Muslim with Jew, you understand how bad that statement actually is. He is a fucking asshole. A lot of people who go into prison go into prison straight, and when they come out, they're gay. That's not the way it works, buddy. They may have to do things in prison, but that's not the same as coming out and it's not a homosexual factory. That's not the way prisons work. Although that sounds like a video game title right there. Homosexual factories. It's right up there with, sir, the homosexuals, they're attacking. Man the guns. And the last one, Obamacare is really, I think, the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery. Really? Not like the Great Depression or the Civil fucking War or World War I or World War II or any of the other fucking things out there. No, healthcare for everybody is the worst goddamn thing ever. This guy's a doctor, Jesus Christ. I would say it's not brain surgery, but clearly in his case, what the fuck?
He's not getting as big a cut.
Bernie Sanders. I swear to God, he's the only person who has worse hair than Donald Trump. He kind of reminds me of some of like the Muppets from Sesame Street. I like this. 1 in 4 corporations doesn't pay any taxes. That's nice, I can make up numbers. 3 out of 4 people in this room don't give a fuck. Wall Street is greedy, reckless, and they operate illegally. That's fine. Okay, it's good to know you're okay with that. We're happy. And Social Security has nothing to do with the deficit. Yeah, because the $900 billion spent on it doesn't contribute to our budget in any way, shape, or form. I will give Bernie Sanders credit, though, because he has had far fewer stupid things come out of his mouth than the rest of the candidates, but that's just because he's much more of a career politician who's learned how to play the game much better. We'd like to point out the elected experience of our opponents. Really, only Bernie Sanders has any experience. Neither Donald Trump nor Ben Carson has any elected experience, and Hillary Clinton only had 8 years. Being put into the Secretary of State position does not make you an elected official, so it doesn't count in the same terms of experience. And Bernie Sanders has basically been in office longer than I've been alive. That's kind of terrifying. So what's Cthulhu's plan for America? Well, a major part of any president's time in office is international relations. Step 1, we will destroy Japan. Fucking tentacle porn, man. No, not cool. And fucking hentai Evangelion, which still doesn't make any damn sense. They keep remaking it. It still doesn't make any sense. And I really want to see, this was a personal favor to me from Cthulhu, I really want to see Tokyo Tower destroyed like properly for once, not like a little paper mache cutout version. Our plan, we will destroy ISIS, ISIL, whatever the fuck else they're calling themselves, by taking an area that they're in and turning it into one of the world's largest parking lots. We're not really concerned about anybody else who's there. Seriously, fuck those guys. So our overall plan is we want to make the world terrified of us, which involves just randomly attacking countries that have angered us. Think of us as a more like terrifying version of North Korea, except we can actually back it up. At the same time, we want to strengthen ties with China, India, Brazil, because those are upcoming economies, and Luxembourg, because we just like the word Luxembourg a lot. Canada's official name must be changed to America's hat, or they will be next. Except for Quebec. Quebec will be destroyed. Fucking Frenchies. We will resolve the Syrian conflict by making that into an even bigger parking lot. The Middle East will never have to worry about parking again. So what are we going to do with domestic initiatives? We're going to remove the Electoral College. It doesn't make sense anymore. It made sense way back in the day when it was really hard to get around. But now we really shouldn't be saying these handful of electors who are just loyal to their party, not loyal to the country, get to decide who votes based upon some Byzantine formula. It just doesn't make sense. We want direct elections. That'll force candidates to actually come to states that normally would be written off so they can actually talk to the people directly. We want to remove the cruel and unusual clause from the 8th Amendment because who doesn't love cruel and unusual punishment? We love it in the Cthulhu for President campaign. We also want to repeal the 22nd Amendment. How many people in here know what the 22nd Amendment is? You all fucking disappoint me. So much. It's what sets up term limits. It's the reason why presidents can only run for 2 terms, or can only serve 2 terms. It was put in place because we had a president who, despite being crippled by like polio and being in a wheelchair, kept getting fucking elected. And Congress couldn't do shit about it. They just had to wait for him to die, and then they're like, all right, we can't ever have that happen again. We don't believe in term limits because there's something better. They're called elections. Free and open elections. Those are the proper term limits. We should be able to serve for as long as we want to. Our position on abortion is om nom nom. We fucking love dead babies. They are delicious. We support abortion up to and including the 18th year of life, just in case the kids get out of hand a little bit. And notice we included the 18th year because, oh, I'm free of you. Not yet, you aren't. My wife takes the absolute wrong image from this because she goes, oh, how cute is the baby? And I'm like, you realize we're talking about eating the baby. Oh, that's terrible. Take that out. Nope. Jobs. I'm going to have to replace this. Sadly, he's been gone too long. Good night, sweet prince. So how is Cthulhu going to create jobs? Well, Cthulhu's not going to create jobs. Cthulhu's going to invest in the things that will therefore create jobs that cannot be shipped overseas. Key things like infrastructure. You can't, well, we used to bring Chinamen in to build the railroads. That was back in the 1800s. We don't do that anymore. Those jobs are here. And we have a ailing power and water and highway system that is completely dilapidated and simply isn't maintained. Having people who can go and fix those is actually something that cannot be shipped overseas. Those are great jobs that are here, and it's an ongoing process. The problem is we keep kicking the can down the road, and instead of investing in our infrastructure, putting it towards other things that don't necessarily transfer money back into the economy here. We also want to put Tim Cook, he's the president of Apple, in charge because they seem to be basically printing fucking money. So maybe we'll get something really cool out of it and we'll get free iPhones. We also want to create initiatives for better sharing of government data between departments and the public because more information is good so they know exactly what it is that we're up to. I forgot to mention that included inside of infrastructure is better internet access because we were one of the primary developers and founders of the fucking internet, and yet we have crappy internet in comparison to most other industrial countries. Like, the South Koreans are kicking our ass at, like, League of Legends and StarCraft because they have good internet. Like, no more key. We need to be able to beat those motherfuckers. Because fuck them for Gundam style. They deserve it. So we want to have better internet access because we know you fucking plebs love your porn, so. Science and education. We need to leave some children behind. Let's face facts. We were all in school once, and we all knew a little Jimmy or a little Susie that just was not going to make it, was going to clean toilets the rest of her life. So, fuck no child left behind, leave some children behind. At the same time, we want to remove teacher tenure and unions, but while increasing wages and funds for teachers. Because we don't want to protect crappy teachers. We want to make it so that people actually want to be teachers. Not be like, oh, I went and got my shitty liberal arts degree and now I can't find a job, I guess I'll go teach. No, you should want to be a teacher, and they should be paid for basically taking care of future generations. Education is one of the few silver bullets for a lot of problems. It's really, really important to Cthulhu. We'll get into sort of that later. Mostly because we like eating people and we want more people. We also want to invest research and development in universities and government labs. More research into the dark arts, things like geothermal power, because if you dig really deeply, you find really cool things. Like, like the Balrogs and stuff. It's hella awesome. Here's some shameless self-promotion. I should have updated a little bit. We are on Facebook, but it's updated once a blue moon whenever I'm drunk and I feel like updating it. Midnight Madness was last night, but how many of you go to Fanime regularly? God, you all suck. Well, then never mind. I might do Midnight Madness this year. However, tonight I am hosting the hentai music video. It's not a contest. Sorry, 1 second. Oh shit. Oh no. Keep it together, man. Keep it together. Oh fuck, everybody's watching. Alright, yeah. So, hentai music video. There will only be one. I'm just giving up at this point. Shut up. I'm showing a hentai music video exhibition tonight. It's actually a lot of fun. I actually host a contest of Fanime, so there's new entries every year. So if you want to really be entertained and never listen to Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" in a completely different way, you should totally show up. I am not kidding. It is a gold mine. All right, so that took a remarkable 20 minutes. Well, actually, it took less than that, but it is now time to listen to questions from the audience. If you guys run out of questions, it's just going to be me sitting here until you guys all leave the room, and then I'm going to quietly sob in the corner. Since it's a small room, we'll just do the old classroom style of raise your hand and I'll call on you, unless I don't like you, in which case I won't call on you. Yes, you, young lady.
Do you know what the kid, if you want to be in charge of the Department of Education, has planned?
Fucking coloring.
Just fucking coloring, yeah. That's pretty much it. There you go, get a button. I probably shouldn't throw these, but fuck it. You, sir.
So what is Cthulhu's plan for fixing the wage differences between like states and stuff like that? Like California recently got their minimum wage bumped up to like $15.50, but that like most hospitals are making the same amount as like McDonald's workers.
I'm from California. That certain cities have done that.
Oh.
And we believe that that's firmly not a federal issue, that's a state's issue. Simply because the cost of living in places like Colorado, Montana, and even parts of Nevada is not the same as it is if you're living in Los Angeles or San Jose or in New York City. That's why it really needs to be a city and state issue and not a federal issue. Because there are different circumstances for different states. If you had a $15 wage in Montana, like people would live like kings out there because it's not nearly as expensive, but it would also be very crippling to most of the businesses out there. It will artificially drive up the cost of living out there. So we firmly believe it's not a federal issue. It's a state and city issue, and they should decide it amongst themselves. We believe in more limited federal government, unless it suits our purposes, to wave our dick around. Chris Angel? No. You were one of the guys who got shot by the fake prop gun. Oh God, life sucks to be you.
It does. Which brings me to my question. What's Cthulhu's plan on the increase of the violence in our nation lately?
Cthulhu intends to eat enough people so that everybody else gets the fucking message to knock it off.
Less people shot?
I'll parlay this sort of into the question that everybody always has about guns. Guns will not help you against Cthulhu. He eats 1d4 people per round. No save allowed. No nothing. No, not even Jesus can make that save for half damage. He just eats them. So guns don't matter. It won't matter in any way, shape, or form. Let's go over here to the guy in the red shirt.
Why do you represent Cthulhu, and how did you start doing so?
My goodness. I've been representing the Cthulhu for President campaign for, what year is it now? 2015?
Yeah.
I've been doing this since 2008.
Wow.
So that makes me either really incompetent or really dedicated. Yeah, let's not use that. Let's not throw that word around. Or maybe just stupid. As for how it came about, I can't discuss that. That's under terms of an NDA. And the details are frankly, they're not even, they're not suitable for even for the hentai room. No, not good. No es bueno, señor. No me gusta. You, sir, back there.
Yeah, how is, Cthulhu is at a significant disadvantage this election season because of big money donors. How is Cthulhu going to overcome that? Well, besides eating everybody, but that's always a problem solver.
By buying shiny buttons and campaigning exclusively at anime conventions. No wonder we fucking suck. Well, that's a very good question. The answer is we're doing the best that we can.
Yay!
We're persevering on because, God damn it, we want to make America crazy again. You young lady.
What's Cthulhu's opinion on Sauron?
He's a made-up character. Just like Jesus and the Easter Bunny. Oh, I didn't even get anybody going, woo, that time. Sweet, I haven't offended the audience enough yet. Yeah, he's made up. Just like Santa Claus. Sorry to ruin that one too. Anything else anybody needs ruined? Like King Kong dies at the end. They bring Matt Damon home. Yeah, sorry to ruin that one for you. I thought it would have been cool if they changed that from oh fuck, we missed him, and then just cut straight to the end. I would have been amazed. You back there.
How does fucking coloring help our education system in the U.S.?
Fucking coloring is directly linked to art. Art is a very important skill for children to learn because it encourages their creative juices. One of the things America has actually done pretty well with its education in the past is it does not focus solely on mathematics and sciences. It also focuses on the creative aspect of things, which is why we're able to innovate so much better than many other countries where people are simply book smart. We encourage creative smart, and there is a direct correlation between the art level of society and the overall level and sophistication of that society. And that's how fucking coloring rules. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Art rules. You there, sir, in the ridiculous beard.
Thank you. So, Yogg-Sothoth has a campaign to end world hunger by eating the entire planet just completely. How does Cthulhu think about that?
Well, for one, that I wouldn't trust that dude with a car wash. Okay? Because he's come to parties before, he just eats all your chips and then like barfs on your lawn and then spends the rest of the time crying in the closet about how he never amounted to anything. So don't listen to that dude. He can't even get enough money up to buy fucking buttons. If you can't, let me give you a hint. If you're president, if you want somebody to run for president and they can't even get enough money to buy buttons, they're not gonna make it. And we have fucking buttons. I guess I'll take your fucking question, you poser.
Thank you. What are we going to be doing about internet censorship again?
About internet censorship?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can find pretty much any kind of pornography I want online. I don't really see too much censorship in the US. I can find pretty much anything right now on my phone. I have a veritable cornucopia of pornography available to me at the drop of a hat simply by reaching in my pants. So I'm not really sure which internet censorship you are referring to, sir.
Well, the TPP and other such elements.
Oh, that's simply because people in the US do not care about that. That's not censorship, that's people don't give a shit. There's a very big difference. You only get one question. You can ask another one later. Fucking poser. I'm gonna commit a hate crime. You, a guy in the back.
What's Cthulhu's plan on the military?
Ah, yes. So, we're just gonna be good and they're gonna be bad here. Please don't shoot me. I know everybody in Nevada can carry it much easier than we can in California, so please don't shoot me. Because I really don't want to be resurrected again. It's not a very fun process. It's quite terrifying. And sorry, military. Right, so the simple fact of the matter is we want to make cuts to the size of the military. Because the military is a significant proportion of our budget. And quite frankly, we need to cut that down so that we don't pass on crippling debt to future generations. Now, part and parcel of that is that we want to focus on having a more advanced military while decreasing the size of it. We don't necessarily believe in as much force projection. There's sort of the joke that Democrats want a really small military and they want to send it everywhere, while Republicans want a huge military and don't want to send it anywhere. And we want to have something a little bit closer to home. At the same time, we want to do further research into deployment of the dark arts with respect to the military. Because who needs to actually invade a country if we can summon a couple of Balrogs and other kinds of netherworld demons into the middle of, say, Beijing if they become a little too uppity, and let that sort of sort itself out. Of course, then we might end the world of rifts, and that's a completely different kind of terrifying we don't want to discuss. But overall, we kind of want to cut the budget for the military, decrease its size, but also continue to make it more advanced than other countries. Because that's really our edge. But we don't need to outspend like the other 6 or 7 top spenders in the world combined. Like, that's a little bit ridiculous. A lot of that also goes to aid for other countries, and frankly, we're kind of tired of that. Plus, we might be destroying them, so we shouldn't be giving them money. Anybody else? You, sir.
What's Cthulhu going to do about illegal immigrants crossing over?
Yes. Illegal immigrants are a red herring. They're not really an issue. The amount of money and drain that they put on the United States government and at society as a whole is either very small or it actually gives a positive benefit because they do still pay money into their local economies and take care of it. If a politician, like Mr. Trump or others, pushes really hard on it, if you dig down into the nitty-gritty details of it, illegal immigrants take jobs that most Americans do not want. I myself grew up in a lovely little town that sucks balls called Napa. How many of you have heard of Napa? Hey, it's a great place to raise your kids, but it's fucking boring if you're the kid being raised there. One of the biggest things that happens during the year is the harvest takes place during autumn. It's almost entirely done by either illegal immigrants or people who were very recently immigrants. There are very few whiteys and Anglos trying to take those jobs because it's a shitty job. Same thing is true with a lot of the agriculture that's taking place in California and other states that are close to the border. Those are jobs that by and large a lot of people don't want, but illegal immigrants do it because they're the only ones who are willing to be paid under the table, and they get paid substandard wages. So it honestly and truthfully is a red herring. That being said, we do have several initiatives for dealing with the illegal immigrants that are here. We don't mind creating a proper work program for those who've actually established a life for themselves here, who don't have a criminal record, and who have actually paid into their local communities, as well as those who have families. We don't need to be complete assholes about it. We don't need to destroy families, unless it's hilarious. But at the same time, for those who are here, either they pay us some kind of fine, and for people who want to come over, we want to implement some kind of Running Man kind of entertainment, where they compete for cash and prizes and eventual citizenship papers if they can make it through a grueling gauntlet that everybody can watch online. That'll be totally awesome, and for the clincher, we can have Arnold Schwarzenegger be the villain this time. I think that would be fucking awesome. You, sir.
What is Cthulhu's opinions on police brutality?
It's hilarious. But we like seeing the police beat people, but we also like seeing people beat the police, so that's how we maintain the yin-yang kind of aspect of it. One of the things we would propose an end to is the sale of arms by the military to the police, because they probably don't need the same military equipment unless we're actively in a war. So we would get rid of that, but aside from that, most police are good people. There are going to be assholes, but there are assholes everywhere. Statistically speaking, there are at least 10 assholes in this room. So there's very little we can do to prevent that other than if somebody goes too far, we engage in cruel and unusual punishment. And then it'll be hilarious. Next question. You in the back, and I don't know what kind of hat that is.
After Japan has destroyed us in the anime community, how will we get our fix, or will you expect us to completely cut cold turkey?
Not our fucking problem. Deal with it, weeaboo. You and the glasses. Oh God, you both have glasses. The one of you who is sitting taller. The one on the left.
Who's left?
I corrected for it. The one who's holding the big yellow thing.
Oh. So, a common trend that's been shown to presidents once they get into office is to make all of these promises during campaigning, and then they deliver.
You need to speak up a little bit more.
A common trend that presidents have shown is that they make all kinds of promises during campaigning, but once they get into office, they flip-flop all their ideologies. So how do we know Cthulhu is going to follow up with all of these promises?
We make no fucking promises. We are by definition the greatest evil campaign. We will do whatever the fuck we want once we get into office. Maybe we'll do the right thing, maybe we won't. But I can tell you, we'll try to do the right thing because we've thought about these things a lot, and doing the other stuff doesn't really sound as entertaining or as fun. So the answer to your question is, we make no promises. Fuck you. The guy who's next to you.
So what are Cthulhu's opinions on space travel and or expansion into space?
Ooh, okay. I need a drink of water for this. Alright, I'll be funny about a lot of things, but we're very serious about space travel. Space travel is very important. Right now, all of our pretty little eggs are in one basket, this fragile little planet, and frankly, we're fucking it up, but we're also making it a pretty cool place at the same time. We want to start working towards colonizing other planets so at least we can protect ourselves against basic things. But that's just a side benefit. There are other intangible benefits that come about from a space program. It inspires people. And it inspires people for not a whole lot of money in the grand scheme of things. And there have been many, many technological developments that have come out of the space program, like the commonality of lasers. A lot of laser development was done specifically for the space program, and now lasers are ubiquitous everywhere. We use them for petty shit. I can go and buy a $5 laser that I can blind people with from like a distance of a mile away. How awesome is that? There are a lot of important things that can come out of unfocused research other than, we want to go to Mars, what will that take? And let some smart people in a room figure that out. So we are wholeheartedly in favor of actually increasing and trying to depoliticize NASA's budget so they can actually plan for things in the long term. We will do a couple of executive actions to try and depoliticize it so that the budget is set, and it's set for at least 10 years, so that then when the next bunch of idiots get elected into the House of Representatives, they can't go fucking with it. So we're very big on that. Thank you. You, young lady.
Me?
You.
Okay.
The one in the gray shirt, the hoodie.
Okay.
Okay, too late. It's next person, you.
I asked a question. Can I have my button now?
You can just come up and get it at the end. Otherwise, I'm going to have to hurl it, and I'm probably going to hit that guy.
I wouldn't object.
Oh! I had it right on the spot. Alright, I have to find something heavier to throw. I think if I throw this at you, you're going to be like, fuck that. Any other questions? Oh, you finally fucking remembered it. Well, you're going to have to wait longer because that guy gets to ask a question. You with the even more outrageous, beard. It's a beard contest going on here. Although the guy right there, I think he's won it so far.
How's Cthulhu intend to deal with the extreme partisanship in Congress?
By eating enough House of Representatives and Senators members until they knock it the fuck off. Now, that being said, having some partisanship fighting is the way the system was intended to work. Reasonable people can disagree about things, and that's why compromise is not a four-letter word. Unless you're trying to compromise with one of Cthulhu's diehard plans, in which case he will just fucking eat you. So, for everybody else, they should get along. But when it comes to us, do what we fucking say. Alright.
Okay, so long-term plans for space travel. We know that you're planning to colonize other planets. Once that is done, what is the plan for Earth?
Could you be more specific? It is a planet.
For example, we colonized Mars. About half the people are on Mars. On Earth.
Whoa, you just skipped 500 years. We're not planning that far out there. You guys can't even decide what you want on TV. Well, we're gonna fire up the U-Haul with half of the people in there. We're gonna swing by the local Office Depot and be like, I need three. We're moving to Mars. We'll get 3 guys to help us, and then we'll go. We're not moving half the people to Mars.
Okay.
You're digging a hole here.
I apologize. But once that is done, are we going to be focusing on preserving our natural resources here on Earth, such as wood, coal, and so on?
What the fuck is going on out there?
I have no idea.
Nobody's interested in your squee. Fuck off. God, I should have brought my paintball gun. That's a good way to get kicked out of a casino. To answer your question, Cthulhu is interested in... Okay, hold on. Can you, one of you at the staff, please tell them they need to keep it down? Thanks. Thank you. You are a god amongst men, even though you are a ginger.
Please volunteer.
Yay, whatever. So Cthulhu really is interested in maintaining the supply of humans. Maintaining the population of humans. So we want to try and investigate better ways to maintain the environment without completely destroying it. That being said, if we did magically move half of the people in a U-Haul all the way to Mars, it's gonna stabilize things here quite a bit. And we're probably not going to go as far as implementing some kind of X number of children per couple policy, but we will engage in a rigorous human eating program if there are too many humans. There's a lot of Chinese people. Who doesn't love Chinese food? Oh.
But we're going to be starving after like 5 minutes, though, right?
I don't know. I've seen some fat Chinese guys, man. We all love Indian food. Who doesn't love some barbecue from down in Texas? Come on. It'll be totally awesome. So we'll deal with the environmental issues by stabilizing the human population by eating a number of them as well.
Okay.
Anything else? Oh, okay, you in the back.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have some input on who you eat first.
No. What precisely is your concern?
Well, I can't help but think that the world will be a little better if you ate the rich people first.
Why? Bill Gates is a pretty nice guy.
Oh, well, okay, a subset of the rich people.
Okay, who? Do you have a list? Does it start with you? Because you're making a list right now, buddy. Donald Trump isn't rich, he's just a hoser. Fucking jack off. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know if we would eat Donald Trump. That dude is... That would be some fucking indigestion. And do you know how many tums it takes to quell Cthulhu? That's a lot of bicarbonate, I gotta tell you. Dude, you went too far. The exit sign's right there.
Donald Trump's hilarious. Why would you try to listen to his tweets for the rest of your life to understand how stupid he is?
Well, stupid is as stupid does. Donald Trump, here's the key thing, and even if you're a passionate supporter of him, you have to understand that he's not actually interested in being president. He's really interested in getting attention because he hasn't gotten a lot of attention lately, other than being fired by fucking NBC and replaced by Arnold. That's pretty fucking pathetic. When you've fallen so low that NBC, which I don't remember last time they produced anything of quality, is like, you know what? Fuck you and fuck your show. We're going to replace you with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he just really wants attention, but I don't think he actually believes he's going to be elected. He just wants to get back into the limelight so he can get a TV show someplace else. I would laugh if it ended up on Telemundo. That would be fucking awesome. Nothing else?
He's put better tax plans in place than any of the Democrats.
No, he really hasn't.
By far.
No, you are a fool. You are a moron. You will be eaten third. And we may very well, pee on your foot. Okay, young lady, you again.
Who's first and second on the list of to eat?
Well, that's a secret. That would be telling. That would be
I
entertaining.
guarantee you one of them is the imposter.
No. No, we have plans for him. He will not be eaten, but it will be televised. Anybody else? You had a...
What was that resurrection process you mentioned?
I just said I wouldn't talk about it. Why you gotta bring up old shit, man? I can't sleep at nights. That was a lot of screaming.
Just got tired.
The screaming of the goats, man. Okay, Chris Angel, whatever.
Will I be eaten or spared?
I don't know.
Yet to be determined.
Oh, it sucks to be you. Alright, you in the hat.
What is Cthulhu's plan on college tuition so that we may better study our passion of fucking coloring?
So you want to go get an art degree? I gotta tell you, you have a hard life ahead of you, man. We do think that the cost of education should be curtailed, but the simple fact of the matter is that not every degree is frankly worth a damn. So people should actually have a lot more care and actually think about their college education as a serious life-changing choice, rather than just going into it because that's what is expected of them after they leave, and then they go and get like a generic liberal arts degree. That's not to say liberal arts degrees can't lead to things, but in general they don't pay as well, and it means they're going to take a lot longer for you to pay off any debts that you incur while you're getting your education. And you should seriously do a cost-benefit analysis of the money that you're spending on your education. You have to think about it. It's a serious choice. For some people, how many of you are in college or went to college? Okay. How many of you, when you were in any year of your education, and you saw somebody who was in a basic like 101 or intro to whatever class, and you just knew they weren't going to make it? Those people will be better served not wasting the college's time and their money, or their parents' money, or somebody else's money, foregoing that kind of education, and instead should go out and buy themselves something nice, like a steak dinner or something, because they'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it than just grinding through and possibly failing, or just ending up with $50,000 or $60,000 worth of debt from like fucking CSU Chico. Like, not the best choice to make in your life. So people should think long and hard about it. It's personal responsibility is more of the problem. At the same time, we do want to increase funding to education institutions so it's not as expensive. It shouldn't be getting as expensive as it is. But at the same time, it should be a conscious and well thought out and reasoned choice. Personal responsibility is big to Cthulhu, because he personally chooses everybody he eats. You, sir.
What is Cthulhu's plan for religion?
For what?
Religion.
It's all made up. Cthulhu is the one true hope. And boy, does that suck. It's a bad universe out there, man.
So what is he going to do to like churches and...
Nothing.
He's going to let them stay there even though they're all made up?
Well, we let Christmas happen. Why the fuck not let churches happen? Just because something's made up, I mean, should we get rid of anime? That's all made up. Should we get rid of Batman? I fucking like Batman. Like, except for, I am Batman. I'm not wearing hockey pants. I don't really care for that Batman. Or, breast nipple George Clooney Batman. I didn't really care for that Batman. Like, what's wrong with made up shit? Lots of shit is made up. That's what makes life entertaining, because life kind of sucks without made up stuff, dude. You fool.
Change my opinion.
Well, then this was all worth the fucking time I put into it. Huzzah! I have 10 minutes left. I don't think we'll make it, but that's fine. You in the back.
What's Cthulhu's plan for foreign policy?
You are fucking late.
Yeah, did you already mention that?
First thing.
Yeah.
Destroy Japan! Destroy assholes! Destroy random things and make Luxembourg our friends and make Canada our hat. When you are late, you do not get to re-ask the same question, and you are exposed for the fool you are. Oh God, it's like the same people over again. I'll let him ask because he's only asked one question before.
All right, so given that...
Does your hat say OPEC on it?
No, it says...
It's DEF CON? Okay, I thought it would have been really cool if it was an OPEC hat. Actually, I should make those hats. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I would buy one of those hats.
I would buy a fucking OPEC hat. Those guys have oil. And then we'll fucking take it over like we do everything else.
They control it in a very evil way. So given the fact that Cthulhu needs a constant supply of people to eat, what policies in particular will Cthulhu put in place to make sure that there is a good supply of people?
Well, humans breed like rabbits, so we're not concerned about that. There's a lot of people in Asia, man. I gotta tell you, we could eat a lot of people and we'll be fine. The birth rate is not something we're concerned about. We would have to go on like a year-long bender to really like make us really that concerned. And then our human cloning program should be online, so don't worry about that. You and the beard?
Any plans for underwater cities?
No, because of that shitty movie BioShock. Oh, well, it felt like a fucking movie. Oh, and there's these things, and yeah, inject your body with like genetically altering material just because a dude on the radio said, you should do this. People do drugs, don't you? Whatever. That thing had more plot holes in it. You could either be a baby-eating monster or like St. Paul. There was no differentiation between them. Either the Pope or like Cthulhu. That was the gradient. Like, that's... Fuck those guys. Anybody else? I'll let him ask a question.
How will Cthulhu work with healthcare?
How will Cthulhu work with healthcare? We have a healthcare system. What else do you want?
Will we be working more with the whole Obamacare deal, or will we be working more privatization?
The problem is that the recent law has just been enacted. We should give it a little bit of time to actually see how well it works out, and then make changes to it. Personally, we would like to see it actually have more control shifted towards the states and away from the federal government, because as with everything else, states should have a lot more control over what goes on in their state. Certain things should be mandated to them on occasion, but states should largely be more in control of what takes place in their state. This is the United States of America, not the gigantic federal fucking government of America. States should have more control over it, and the federal government should really only push on them if it needs to. Sometimes fucking needs to, but that's okay. Because, fuck anybody that gets in our way. All right, I guess you'll be the last question, because fuck it, let's get closer to the end of this. I want to get a drink.
If Canada is America's hat, what's Mexico?
Oh, you're a dirty girl. That's not cool. My wife's gonna see this video now. She's gonna be like, what? Now I'm gonna get in all kinds of trouble. I guess there's no other way to get around it. It's America's pubic hair. It's really bushy and it needs to be fucking trimmed. What's America's penis? Definitely not you. You're too small. That's the first time I've really insulted an audience member. That took a long time, I gotta tell you. That took 50 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, there was no vodka in this. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good rest of your convention. Come to Hentai Music Videos. You will enjoy it. Or you won't, I don't care. There will be buttons up here, so you can come up. Please only take one. Don't be a